not going to be able to turn over.
Batteries older than 3 or 4 years are especially vulnerable. AAA recommends proactively testing now to avoid being stranded when winter weather returns. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:03.
Sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her AccuNet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
There are a lot of benefits to having Less's Glass install your new all-glass shower enclosure. The first of them is that when you have Less's Glass on your job, you can be assured that our nearly 40 years of experience is going to leave you satisfied. There are few companies out there as seasoned as ours is, and that really matters. As for the benefits of an all-glass shower enclosure, we're talking about an investment that lasts, that will add a whole new dimension to your bathroom. And the clean-cut lines of a frameless all-glass shower enclosure really make your bathroom color choices pop against the brightness of the glass. And with virtually no metal framework, maintenance is easy. They're simple to clean, you won't have to worry about any rusting, and you'll up the wow value of your bathroom and your home. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers lose in OT to the Chicago Bears Saturday evening, 22-16. Their next matchup is against the Baltimore Ravens next Saturday at 7 p.m. The Bucs are in Minnesota today to take on the Timberwolves. That game begins today at 6. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and colder with a high of 28. Tonight, increasing clouds with a chance of light snow or flurries overnight with a low of 21. Monday, cloudy with a chance of a little light snow with a high of 40. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 43. Christmas Eve day, cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain and drizzle with a high of 44. Christmas Day, cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain and drizzle with a high of 47. Right now, it's 8 in Madison, in Green Bay 5, in Waukesha 12, and in Milwaukee 14 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
Oh, what a night. What a terrible night. Nazir, did you stay up to watch?
Sure did. I was up all night, and it was rough. It was a rough one.
It was worse than a funeral wake.
Oh,
it was bad. It was really, really bad. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I think we all know what we're talking about. It's not the bad news Bears, it's the bad news Packers last night. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more as the morning goes on. But before we do anything else, I know a lot of us are wondering, what is Christmas Day going to be like? And if you're traveling this week, if you're going to be running into any sort of weather issues, well, joining us is TMJ4 meteorologist Michael Fish. And Fish, how late did you stay up last night?
So I'm not spoiling it by saying any parts of the game, right? I know you guys are going to be talking about it.
No, I don't think you're spoiling it. I think it's already been spoiled.
Hey, that's a good point. So when the onside kick was fumbled and then the Bears scored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know how early we have to wake up. Like I'm up at like 1:30 or 2 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and when they scored, I'm like, I can't watch this. I'm shutting this off. I've got to get to bed. I really hope it's not going to turn out like I think it. And I woke up
You
this
were
morning. I'm like,
able to turn off the TV? Wow.
I was watching it on my phone in bed, like kind of cheating and not telling my wife that I was still up watching the game because I'd get yelled at. When that happened, and then to see the result, I was like, so I wasted that like overtime time staying up, and
yeah, it was
that
bad.
a tough one.
I know. I was, same thing with me. So I went upstairs. I said to my husband, I think we're going to be okay. And of course, I turned on the TV upstairs, and then the onside kick, and it was like, oh no. They can't. Well, first of all, who believes that they could have gotten that onside kick? I mean, they've changed the rules now that nobody ever gets an onside kick, and they got it last night.
You guys can talk your sports and stuff. I don't want to spoil your segment. I'll stick to the weather, but
okay.
I think we're all
mad. Let me ask you this: how much impact did the wind off the lake have on that game last night?
Well, it actually was coming from. It should have been coming out of the west or northwest. So, I mean, it wouldn't have come off the lake. However, he threw that pass at the end like there was no wind. It was like 30, 40 mile per hour gusts, and he just chucks it through the air right into that guy's hands, and it's like, where's the wind?
Not that we're going to talk about football during the weather.
Okay. So anyway, winter is back. Like we couldn't tell, but it's only for a day.
Oh,
like it's.
I can handle
one
that.
Day. I know. Same here. A 1 day cool down, and then we've got a mild stretch on the way. So 28 today, sun and less wind. Boy, did it get windy last night. That actually was more wind
Especially
than I
in
was
Chicago.
forecasting. Yeah, it really helped. 28 today with sun. Late tonight, overnight, there's going to be a weak disturbance moving on through. And it could bring a few parts of the area a little light snow or a couple of flurries. Right now, it looks like if there's any accumulation, it would be well off to the north. Maybe a dusting towards like Highway 23 or a touch more just north of there.
Well, let me ask you this. Are we going to have all grass by Christmas? Because if the temperatures are getting warmer, all the snow that we have, I mean, it's pretty well melted. It's going to be gone by Thursday, won't it?
I think it's going to be close to being gone. Yeah, except for the dirty snow piles.
Well, how's Santa going to land on the roof without any snow or ice?
He's got backup wheels on that thing.
Not going to need that 4-wheel drive, is he?
No.
So what does it look like for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
40 Monday. I've got 45 Tuesday, 44, 45 on Wednesday. So Christmas Eve day, a chance of a little light rain or drizzle. Again, mid-40s. And then I have Christmas Day, 47. With another chance of light rain or drizzle. Friday 37, and then again 40s by next weekend. So I don't think our chance of a white Christmas was looking very good.
I don't think it is either.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Come on, we just had like a flat out month of full winter. I mean, that was just flat out winter for a month. So it's time for a break.
Bitter much fish?
Fine.
Are you bitter? You're just bitter from the results that you woke up to this morning.
Yeah, that was a cold reality right there.
Certainly was. Well, it was much colder than what the weather's going to be going into this week.
Yeah.
TMJ4 meteorologist Michael Fish. It's always fun to have you here.
All right, Libby.
Sorry to ruin your morning that you got up and saw that score. Listen, you take care. Have a great holiday.
All right, you too.
Thank you. It's 8:12 on WTMJ. 13 degrees is our temperature right now. And you know it's going to feel a little bit cooler than that But as Fish just told you, it's going to warm up into the upper 20s today. We've got a very busy show ahead. We've got a former White House economic advisor who's going to join us talking about prices this holiday season and what he says he's seeing. Tim Gibbons, the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, is here. He's got the behind-the-scenes news about why Harley-Davidson is making workers come back to the office. This is kind of interesting. Also, we're going to be joined by our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen. She's going to caution you on how to do some checking before you make your holiday donations. Also, Sandy Max is going to be here in the studio with us. She's going to talk about why so many of Rob Reiner's movies touched people the way they did. We'll take a look back at the week in review. We've got Nazir in the newsroom. We've got Isaac pushing buttons. And in just 2 minutes, WTMJ's Debbie Laziga is going to talk about the construction. Where else? On I-94. It's all ahead right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hi, this is Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management. As we head towards the new year, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our listeners and to our clients. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and the conversations we get to have every day. From all of us at Annex, we wish you and your family a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
Investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate strategies. Get financially organized for the new year. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
When you give to St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee, you give hope to our neighbors in need. This Christmas season and throughout the year, we support anyone who needs a meal or help stocking their pantry. Your financial gift helps eliminate hunger and stop food insecurity. Please give much needed support to our Milwaukee neighbors. Learn more at svdpmilw.org.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
8:16 on WTMJ. Well, weather-wise, things have cleared up for now. But we haven't seen the last of winter. How do construction crews keep progress going on I-94 when we do have that hard-hitting storm?
When winter shows up in Wisconsin, it doesn't knock. It kicks the door open, tracks snow through the house, and dares anyone to keep up. And out on the 94 project, construction crews are doing exactly that. This week, I checked with Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen to see how teams push forward when the season rolls in with sharp elbows. We started with a little good news. The Frederick Miller ramp reopened right on schedule.
Crews did an excellent job reconstructing that ramp on schedule in that month-long closure. They took advantage of the decent weather early in November and then fought through the snow and the cold temperatures we had over Thanksgiving.
That's determination with a hard hat on. But for anyone who's ever wondered what happens when a major storm drops a foot of snow on an active work site, Hansen didn't sugarcoat it.
Workers are bundled up and working through a lot of these cold temperatures. The operations do get postponed due to extreme cold temperatures sometimes. That's usually when we're getting down near 0 degrees or below 0 degrees, but otherwise lots of winter gear with coats and overalls. The crews take longer breaks, warm up in their vehicles, and they keep plugging away.
That's not metaphorical plugging away. That's literal frozen-fingered progress. And while the rest of us are brushing off our cars, crews are out there digging out an entire construction zone. He says after a storm,
The first several hours or even the first day, that's typically spent clearing off the site so work can keep going in these winter months.
but here's where it gets clever. Snow isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's free insulation.
We have used snow to our advantage in a few locations on the project, so letting the snow stay in place to insulate the ground, that minimizes the frost penetration in the ground.
Pretty neat, huh?
When you get a bunch of snow and then it's followed by these extreme cold temperatures, let the snow stay in place, try and keep some heat in the ground, and then you got a better surface to work with when you place the asphalt later.
Who knew winter could occasionally be helpful? Of course, timing is still everything. If this kind of weather hits when crews are placing concrete or finishing pavement markings, the delays stack up fast.
The cure time for the concrete slows down, and we do have to factor in when we're looking at how many nights it's going to take and the operations in general. The pavement marking epoxy, it cures slower, so we need longer times overnight.
So crews have to get strategic. They watch the forecast and pick the warmest windows, which in December it sometimes feels like picking the warmest ice cube. So yes, winter messes with just about everything. But out on I-94, the work doesn't stop. It just gets frostier. And the people doing it show up anyway, bundled up, snow-covered, and determined to keep this massive project moving. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
And that, of course, is Deb. Thank you so much. And yeah, don't you love 94 right now? It is 8:20 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we've got Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. He's got the behind the scenes of why Harley-Davidson is actually having everybody come back to the office. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
You don't need a massive walk-in to have a beautiful, organized closet.
Tired of wasted space? Or that pile of shoes that's always hiding behind your closet door?
Abracadabra!
Inspired Closets is the expert at doubling or even tripling your storage space instantly.
It's like magic, but better, because it's custom designed for you.
We make it easy and affordable and transform your space regardless of its size or scope.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Looking for better sleep? Helix Sleep's award-winning mattresses are now at Steinhafels, so you can try before you buy. Get 20% off all Helix mattress orders. Visit steinhafels.com to learn more. Better sleep starts now with Helix and Steinhafels.
No gifts, no freebies, just buckets.
Bounce pass back to Sims, wide open lane, a rack attack as he hammers it home with a two-hand jam.
It's Holiday Hoops in Minneapolis as the Bucks take on the Timberwolves.
Bobby Portis tees up a beauty and sticks another three, looking at his bench as he retreats the other way.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
It's time to check in with Timothy Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Lots going on this week. Tim, let's talk about Quad. They're closing a plant in Georgia, and that's kind of good news for Wisconsin?
Yeah, good news might be a little bit overstating it, but there should be some positive job impacts here. So Quad is a printing company based in Sussex, and they've been consolidating because, as everybody has noticed, printing is an industry on the decline. So the news this week is that they're shutting down a printing facility in Georgia that's been operating for more than 30 years. And the work that was being done there is going to move here to Wisconsin. So what that plant in Georgia mainly focused on was weekly magazines. At one point, it printed most of the Times, Sports Illustrated, and People magazines, and that work is still being done. But obviously, the number of people getting a weekly news magazine has definitely fallen off a cliff.
No doubt about that one. All right, let's move on, because one of the big stories we have been talking about is the Port Washington Data Center. They finally broke ground on Friday, but you've uncovered something else, a new opponent to what's going on there?
Yeah, So finally, this project we feel like we've been talking about for a while, they have started site preparation for this $15 billion data center in Port Washington. There is an interesting development there in Port Washington where the leadership in the community are very big on this project. We're talking about next year, something like 3,500 construction workers are going to be working on that site, a number that will jump to 5,000 in 2027. So those are on full-time employees, but clearly a big influx of people and labor and projects. So they've started work on that project, but there has been some pushback about data centers in general in the Port Washington area. There's residents who are trying to make it a little bit harder for city incentives to go for data centers, kind of part of this groundswell, frankly, happening across the country where data centers are not necessarily viewed with open arms by everybody. Now, at the same time all of that is happening, there was an interesting little wrinkle where Vantage Data Centers, who is the company behind the Port Washington Data Center, they have thrown their support behind an alternative route for the power lines that will be powering that facility, which sounds way in the weeds, but here's why it matters. One of the reasons for opposition to data centers is people don't like these massive power lines that are needed to power them. So in this case, you have the data center operator basically saying, look, obviously we're pro-data center, but we'll also help you, we'll partner with you in pushing for this route that might be a little bit more friendly to the residents of that area.
So what do you think is going to happen then?
It's going to drag on for a long time is what's going to happen. All of these projects take forever. And we're talking about American Transmission Company, who is actually doing the lines. The route that they prefer would cost $1.36 billion. The alternative route would add about $300 million to that cost. I mentioned those numbers just to give a sense of the scope of the thing. This is not something that's going to turn on a dime. So it's going to wind its way through the state regulatory bodies and a lot of lobbying, a lot of conversations, and we'll see where it shakes out next year.
Just $1 million here and $1 million there. All right, we are talking with Tim Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. The people of Milwaukee have been wondering what's going to happen to the old Northridge Mall site, and what did you find out?
Well, it is going to be an interesting thing to see how that site develops. This week, the city unveiled basically its vision for the site. Not a lot new there. They didn't pivot in some radical new direction, but they did talk about very explicitly that they are looking for one sizable anchor tenant. So it's not going to be one tenant for the entire site, most likely, but the idea that this is not going to be, let's develop this bit, and then we develop this bit, and kind of doing it in dribs and drabs. They're trying to get one, what they're calling a catalytic anchor, basically somebody who will come in and drive the future of that site. Talk that we're hearing is manufacturing is very much a focus. The focus from the city standpoint is jobs. Jobs and tax base are the things that they are very much looking to drive upward.
Last week, Tim, we talked about the new head of Harley-Davidson, and he's already making a few changes, isn't he?
He is, yeah. There was a shakeup in the C-suite that we talked about last week, and now they've brought out some changes that are going to affect more of the workers. So kind of delving back a little bit in the history. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, Harley basically more or less closed its Milwaukee headquarters. Everybody was working remote. And at the same time, the then CEO was based in New Mexico, wasn't really active or present in Milwaukee. So Artie Starrs came in recently as CEO. He is in Milwaukee, and he is working out of the headquarters, and now more of those employers are going to be working out of the headquarters. So any Harley-Davidson white-collar workers who live about 50 miles around the Harley headquarters are going to start working 3 days a week in Q1, and I think goes up to 4 days a week toward the end of the year. Listeners might wonder, well, okay, cool, I mean, whatever, who cares? That is either good or bad, depending on your views on return to office for those workers, but why does it matter? Big picture, one of the things that our reporter, Rich Kirchen, who very deeply covers Harley, has uncovered over the past year or so is the dealership very much hated we can't get a hold of people, nobody in corporate is in the office. There was this disconnect between the way people in corporate were viewed by those outside of corporate. So this move is seen in part as a way of reconnecting the company's vision with its employees and its employees to its dealers and kind of trying to move everybody all in the same direction.
That's really interesting. All right, let's take a look at downtown Milwaukee. It's a story a lot of people have been following, and that is hotels. And a big one just finished their renovation, but another one is looking at redoing their property.
Yeah, so Marcus Hotels, which is the public company based here that has a lot of the area's high-profile hotels, just wrapped up a $42 million renovation of the Hilton downtown. So it's modernized the guest rooms, it's made the lobby fancier, it's revamped its bar area. It still has kept the touches that show that it's a historic building. That hotel was built in 1928, so a lot of history, a lot of historic design as part of that. So they put $42 million into renovating it. This is the hotel, listeners might remember, that as part of this renovation, Marcus actually kind of cleaved off 175 rooms, creating another downtown hotel. They're going to call it the Mark Hotel. That was not part of the renovations, but the money went into making the rooms and everything, just bringing it up to a modern look and feel while keeping those touches of history.
What we're really looking at, though, is why are they going to work on the St. Kate? Because I've been there. I think it's gorgeous. What do they need to do to remodel that?
It is, and that's only $1 million right now that they're putting into it. No, that is already, it earns its name as the Arts Hotel. So what we found looking through some public records is that they have $1 million worth of work that will renovate about 7,000 square feet of the hotel, which is just a fraction of it. The company, quite frankly, is not talking about details. My guess would be that as they did with the Hilton, that at some point they're going to come out with more expansive plans. But we thought it was interesting that looking at this company, that they're putting a lot of money into these projects. You might recall the Pfister, they started back in 2023 doing a renovation there. They put about $20 million into it. That project just finished up this year when they got the lobby and the lounge area was renovated. So these are projects that have a ripple effect. We talk about tourism. We talk about how the convention center renovation brings more people here. We talk about the general trying to grow the tourism economy. And frankly, having cool hotels is part of that. If you can have a hotel that people come and stay at and enjoy and leave with good memories of, it does a lot toward having people come back. The big question is how much hotel space is needed. And that's a way more complicated question than we have time to talk about today. But having these properties brought to a high level does do something in terms of providing the space that is needed as more conventions come here, as more tourists show up.
Well, one thing is for certain, and that is we have some really nice hotels here in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's like they were nice hotels before, and now they're even nicer.
Tim Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. It's always great to have you here.
You as well.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
What's the secret to your success?
Clean living, hard work, and no employees.
No employees?
At Hassleus, give our mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Nobody breathing down my neck?
Plus, way low prices, free next day delivery, and through Monday, get a free box spring or $300 off an adjustable base with the purchase of any queen or king size Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress.
You could say Hassleus is an overnight success.
Hassleus.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in eastern Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Well, as we're all kind of in one of those moods after the game last night, WTMJ's Greg Matzik is going to join us for New at 9 to break down what the heck happened? Right now, though, it is 8:32, and in the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have Nazir Spencer. And Nazir, there was an arrest finally from an arson going back to May.
Yes, thank you, Libby. A Milwaukee woman pleads not guilty for causing arson that may be connected to a deadly fire that took place on Mother's Day. Police arrested Lakeisha Worley weeks after a deadly fire destroyed an apartment building on 27th and Highland Boulevard back in May. Investigators say that Worley set fire to the building's key fob reader. Hours later, a separate fire tore through the building and killed 5 residents. Prosecutors say they don't have enough evidence to link Worley's fire to the deadly blaze. On Friday, Judge Jonathan Richards sentenced Worley to 10 months in jail and credited for 202 days she's already served. A 23-year-old Illinois man accused of killing his UW-Whitewater girlfriend is scheduled to go to trial next summer. Court records say Chad Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 21-year-old Kara Welsh, a member of the UW-Whitewater gymnastics team. Prosecutors say she was shot during an argument in an off-campus apartment in August 2024. Richards has pleaded not guilty. Jury selection begins June 8th with trial set for June 9th in 2026. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy a $100 gift card from the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant. Get a $20 gift card absolutely free. What a deal. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, mostly sunny and colder again with a high of 28. Tonight, increasing clouds with a chance of a little light snow or flurries overnight. A dusting possible well north with a low of 21. Right now in Whitewater, it's 13. In Greendale, it's 31. And in Milwaukee, it's 15 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:34.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. In just 2 minutes, it's the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. A little bit later on this half hour, Sandy Max is going to be joining us here in the studio, and we're going to talk a little bit about why Rob Reiner's movies meant so much to so many people. But first, there was a weekend of tragedies. The Emu case was solved, or is it Emu? Is it Emu or Emu? It's Emu. The Emu case was solved, and the Dugan verdict was reached. There's a lot more, too. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Stepping in front is Sertan.
again with the pick, and Watson was hurt.
No.
Does not look good for game-wrecking linebacker Micah Parsons either. We're hearing ACL.
No. The Bucs are their own worst enemies.
Down goes Texas. The Badgers will play in the Final Four.
I refuse to lose. Meanwhile, in Australia, police say at least 10 people have been killed as 2 gunmen opened fire.
Thousands gathered on the first night of Hanukkah for a celebration filled with light and music in honor of the shooting victims.
Rabbi Eli, who died, his wife and my wife were really good friends.
We are joined on the hotline by U.S. Senator Ron Johnson. I listened to the interview, Senator. We talk about partisanship, and your comments sound so partisan.
It's our fault the premiums are increasing. Nothing could be further from the truth. And it's being misreported that way, too. So, yeah, it is frustrating.
The son of Hollywood director Rob Reiner has reportedly been arrested after Reiner and his wife were found dead inside their Los Angeles home last evening.
Part of the legacy that Rob Reiner is leaving, Greg, is so many other things that he's really helped shape comedy and drama.
The lines that he's responsible for.
Have fun storming the castle.
You can't handle the truth.
The Judge Hannah Dugan case. How much discretion does a judge get?
Make a record. She acted too impulsively, and that may be the most damning evidence against her.
The Department of Justice is open.
Jeff Wagner.
I think the big question to me, Vince, is going to be, do you put Hannah Dugan on the witness stand?
Milwaukee Public Schools announcing a major update.
Our teams completed lead stabilization work at 99 schools.
What a relief. Imagine you're eating then.
What is that?
It's just a little friend, John. A raccoon falls from the ceiling.
Oh, what?
A customer tried to grab the raccoon and was bitten by it.
We got an update from Slinger Police. We would like to announce that the emu theft from March of this year has been solved. The emu is safe at Slinger PD until he can be reunited with his family.
Let's go to what's coming in everyone's mailbox right now. Now, wave mine for those that are watching.
Oh, you brought yours.
I brought it because my laptop died and I need the data now. So I opened my top property tax bill. Where every dollar goes, the biggest chunk of that dollar is going to MPS now.
Milwaukee Brewers all-star Christian Yelich is stepping up to the plate once again, this time for the community.
It's just a small gesture and a small part of just trying to improve people's lives and help out in any way we can.
After 6 hours of deliberation, the jury handed down a split verdict, finding Judge Dugan guilty of the more severe felony charge of obstruction while acquitting her on misdemeanor concealment.
How can you find guilty there and not guilty on the first?
Judge Dugan faces up to 5 years in prison.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The manhunt for the suspect in the killing of 2 students at Brown University and MIT professor leading to a New Hampshire storage facility where police say 48-year-old Claudio Neves Valente was found dead.
TikTok, Jack, we call him. He's pretty good.
TikTok's getting banned!
It appears there's a deal.
User data will be stored by Oracle, and TikTok's algorithm will be retrained to protect against outside manipulation.
Our grand producer, I should say our grande, but that's different. That's about size, and she's tiny. Gina, you love coffee so much. Will this change any of your habits?
I want to say yes, but no.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
What is that?
Make a record.
Sorry, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Yep, that's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. And if you want to hear it again, text the word week to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. I'm Libby Collins. It is going to be a chilly day today, but as Michael Fish told you a little bit earlier, it's probably the last one we're going to see, at least for a little while. Sunny, though, with a high of 28. Then tonight, get a few clouds. There might be some flurries, even a dusting if you're further north, but we're only going to get down to 21 degrees. Then tomorrow looks cloudy, a little light snow, maybe a wintry mix, but 40 for a high. Tuesday, it's mostly sunny and 43, and Christmas Eve, 44 for a high. Christmas Day looks cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain or drizzle, and we will have 47 degrees for a high temperature. Currently 13 degrees at WTMJ at 8:42.
The holidays are always a wonderful time to get engaged.
And this is the perfect year to do it.
Really? Why is that?
We have a special collection of double dog dazzling engagement rings for just $3,998.
Tell her what makes them double dog dazzling, Monica.
These bridal sets are covered in diamonds and have a 3-carat created diamond center stone.
Wow.
Or you can choose a 3/4 carat natural diamond for just $1,798. And Kessler's will contribute a free 14-carat gold mounting and mount your diamond in it for you.
Wow.
Or you can get 5 matching diamonds side by side that spread all across the top of your finger.
2 carats total weight.
5 big created diamonds in a ring that will rock the house. Tell her how much, Rick.
$1,998.
Wow.
You guessed it, Sarah. We call it the Wow Collection.
18 months financing at 0% is available.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Handpicked and trained with a lot of heart. Quality techs work on all residential heating equipment. Ductless, hydronic, electric, or forced air. Advancements occur. All our techs are trained in and out of house to stay current with modern technology. Call Quality. Our techs will be well versed in what's new to make sure your new heating system is as advanced as you want it to be.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Furnace on the fritz? Hopefully it doesn't happen. But if it does, call Quality for 24/7 fast emergency service. Because we have a huge service crew dedicated to servicing equipment first and replacing equipment only when necessary. We know older equipment, along with the newest in heating technology, and we won't be there to sell you something you don't need because we don't know how to work on it.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
It's the most wonderful time.
During the holidays, we're all feeling a bit generous, and that means we're probably looking for various organizations that might need our help. Before you decide to contribute, you might want to check things out. Joining us is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert from DATCAP. What should we know before we write that check, Michelle?
Well, know that scammers are out there trying to take our dollars away from us and even our personal information. And we want to be sure that that money ends up at the cause that consumers want to support. So we need to do a little bit of legwork before we make those donations.
All right. So where do we begin?
Well, first, research before donating. Donors should take time to learn about the organization and verify that it's legitimate before giving. So verify the organization is who they claim to be. Ask for details. A legitimate charitable organization wants to brag about who they are and all the good things that they've done in hopes that you'll give more. So they're going to tell you how the money is used and how the costs are divided, and they'll highlight their success stories and tell you who's in charge. But a scammer's never going to do that. The next thing is to resist any high-pressure tactics. You might receive a phone call, a text message asking you to donate, saying you can only do that right now. This is the time, or they're going to ask you to pay by cash, cryptocurrency, banking apps, gift cards, wire transfers. All those things need to be seen as a red flag, and you back away and go find the charity you want to donate using your own legwork and resources. And maybe that means driving down to a local chapter to provide your donation this holiday season.
Michelle, is there any place that we can find out which charities are most trustworthy?
Yeah, you can really use the give.org or charitynavigator.org websites to help you do some of that research and identify how funds are used, and you can feel more confident in giving to those. You can also go to the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions website to find out who's registered to receive charitable donations in Wisconsin, and that is dfi.wi.gov.
And finally, if we want to reach you at the Consumer Protection Hotline, what is that phone number?
800-422-7128.
It's 13 degrees at 8:46 on WTMJ. We're going to get up to about 28 degrees today. Coming up in just a couple minutes, Sandy Max is going to be joining us. We're going to take a look back at some of the movies that Rob Reiner had presented through the years and why they meant so much to so many people. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As I reflect on the 2025 performance of the James Imaging Systems team, I'm inspired by their power of action, reliable follow-through, and ability to consistently connect with our clients. So thank you for helping our clients grow, profit, and thrive. In addition, I'm humbled by the trust our clients place in the James Imaging Systems expertise to help them succeed, now and in the years to come. As your local business technology partner, I extend my appreciation and gratitude for your ongoing loyalty. Looking forward, I feel that as individuals and as a community, if we display the power of positive action and authentically strive to find common ground, then our local communities will be stronger and our family connections will be secure and enduring. To everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Milwaukee Weight Loss is extending their huge holiday sale with $300 off now through December 26th with the lowest prices of the year on the result-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. You can start losing those unwanted pounds either before, during, or after the holidays. No more losing weight and gaining it back. You can keep the weight off for good with this program. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. I took advantage of the Milwaukee Weight Loss Program, lost 45 pounds this year. You can take advantage of the lowest prices of the year with $300 off. But hurry, sale ends on December 26th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free consultation, 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
When snowstorms hit and the roads turn slick.
These slick roads are pretty brutal.
When school closings start rolling in and traffic slows to a crawl.
The snowfall closing schools in Kenosha.
We've got the latest updates on forecasts and everything else you need to know during severe winter weather. Find Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and online at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app. Stay safe. Stay informed with WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found the somebody who...
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend News. I'm Libby Collins. Joining us in the studio, it is Sandy Max from What's on Tap. Interesting selection of music here. Thank you, Isaac. From one of Rob Reiner's most famous movies.
And he had several.
Yeah. And boy, what a week it's been.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, but I do think of When Harry Met Sally when I hear that song, don't you?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that definitely is. But it's been a very, very difficult week when you look back at how shocked we all were.
It's
when we
still
heard the
stunning.
news.
It was exactly 1 week ago that we learned that Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, were found in their homes, stabbed to death. And then as the developments happen, understanding that it is his 32-year-old son, Nick, who is now arrested. He is in solitary confinement in jail in what they call Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles. He did make an appearance, but has the Suicide Watch smock on. They're
saying he had been diagnosed with schizophrenia in the last
most recently,
months.
Yes. In addition to, I think his substance abuse issues started at age 15.
Probably,
and he's
earlier
been
than
in
that.
and out of, in and out of rehab facilities and/or homeless. And it got the impression. One of his quotes in the interviews that I was looking up is, "Well, if I wasn't in rehab, then I was homeless." So is that the tough love of you're not coming here if you're not going to commit to that? So it just sounds like a really harrowing journey for him. But almost 10 years ago, Rob Reiner worked on a film with his son, Nick, that was loosely based on their relationship and his struggles with drugs. So what an awful, awful journey and an awful situation for the daughter, Romy, to have discovered her father, supposedly, because it was a massage therapist was, hey, nobody's answering the door, nobody's answering the phone. So she went over and allegedly fled after seeing her father in that situation and then not realizing that her mother was also there.
Well, and this is such a Hollywood story because they had been at Conan O'Brien's holiday party the night before. Lots of famous people there. Jane Fonda was there.
Bill Hader from
was
SNL.
there. Yeah, and a lot of other people we haven't heard from yet, but I'm sure it was a list of A-listers, and that it may have transpired because of something that happened at that event.
And then you talk about more A-listers, some of the first people who came to the home, Billy Crystal and Larry David.
Yeah.
And then leaving in tears. And then they have since put out, along with Martin Short, some statements about what a loss creatively both of them were. The wife, Michelle, was a photographer, and just and then tonight
Do you know that she had taken the picture for Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal?
No.
She did the cover photo on that, which I thought was really interesting, particularly when we know what Rob Reiner's politics were, and I assume his wife felt the same way. But I thought that was such an interesting side note to everything.
And then this also got uglier this past week and stayed in the conversation because of the president's reaction, which was less than gracious, and also social media taking a doctored screen grab from a supposed Twitter posting, and what the actual Twitter posting was from January 20th of 2023. The real Rob Reiner actually tweeted, quote, "Until Trump is indicted for leading a deadly insurrection to overthrow the United States government, our democracy will not be restored," end quote. It has since been doctored with F-bombs and ugliness and been shown by Laura Loomer and other people that the doctored part was the real tweet. So just really fanning the flames and really making this ugly, and also, again, highlighting what is and isn't real on social media and what people just run with.
Well, the thing that gets me is I like to, and I don't necessarily agree with every celebrity's stance on anything, but I like to try to separate what their political views are from what their art is. And I think in the case of Rob Reiner, regardless of how you felt about him, if you thought he was a hero, if you thought he was a slug, whatever, politically, you got to look at his body of work because it really is amazing. And these are
100%.
films. People are going to be looking at these films in 50 years and saying, what a great movie.
Well, they still are. When Harry Met Sally, a comedy, iconic, I'll Have What She's Having.
I'll have what she's having.
And that's Rob Reiner's mother, and that was an improvised line. The Princess Bride, inconceivable, As You Wish. Stand By Me, which was an adaptation of a Stephen King novella. And this is Spinal Tap, which is woven into Milwaukee with Shank Hall on the east side. Peter Jess, the owner, named it after a fictional bar in Spinal Tap. And I got the chance to talk with Greg Marcus. I know you will be spotlighting him in WTMJ Conversations at 11 o'clock. And I got the chance to talk with him on Monday. I wasn't sure if he'd be willing to. But if you remember, when the sequel to Spinal Tap came out this past summer, Greg Marcus was in the trailer with all three of the, quote, band members of Spinal Tap and Rob Reiner. So he was improvising with them. So I asked him, what was it like to be acting with Rob Reiner and the cast?
Really fun, and you were generous. And he was like, yeah, he said, you know how to schnaidel, which I guess must mean like, how to just make up a bunch of fun stuff. I mean, I didn't know how they were going to put that piece together because we just sort of meandered for about a half an hour.
I mean, imagine being able to spend half an hour improvising and joking around with Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, and Michael McKean. So what a snapshot of life that was for him. And Greg Marcus had gotten to talk with Rob Reiner at one of those big, because he's the head of Marcus Theaters, so he's part of the film industry, and had gotten to interact with him and said he was a really good creative man. And then now we've talked about those films. Remember, Rob Reiner also directed Misery and A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth,
which was an improvised line by Jack Nicholson.
So and to know that Rob Reiner created those spaces as a director for some of these magical movie moments to happen. So he's really left a legacy, to your point, whatever your political views. This is art. This is what brings people together.
Yeah, but again, I don't think there's anybody out there who's ever seen a movie that at least isn't familiar with one of the lines from the films that he did, because they were truly memorable.
Yeah.
He captured the essence of the characters that he presented on screen.
And tonight on CBS at 7:30, there will be a 1-hour special of some emotional interviews with people who knew Rob Reiner.
It's going to be interesting to watch. Sandy, what do you have this week on What's on Tap? Because I know it's a busy week for you.
It is fun. I am still putting the finishing touches on Sandy's holiday soundtrack of a lot of local Wisconsin-created holiday music. So still
Did you
focusing
get a lot
on
of
that.
entries this year?
I did, yes. Over 100 songs. So
Wow.
there's lots.
How do you pick the best ones?
It is a fun process, and it's categorizing because some are winter solstice songs, some are Hanukkah songs, some are Festivus songs, some are Christmas songs, some are in the contemporary worship style, some are country, some are instrumentals, some are choruses who've entered from churches. Or I shouldn't say entered, it sounds like a contest, but who've submitted. So it's a beautiful variety, and I get to showcase that. And Miss Wisconsin will be making a song request as well, Willow Newell. So it's been fun putting that together. So what I can't fit into the 2-hour show that will air on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, I will be playing tomorrow on What's on Tap.
Well, we'll be listening.
Thank you.
Listen, thank you so much, Sandy. Have a great holiday. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
It's 8:58. Well, it wasn't a Merry Christmas last night. It wasn't anything merry, at least not for Packers fans, because it was a really, really heartbreaking game. We're going to be talking with Greg Matzik with New at 9 right after this on WTMJ.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and if you're in the market for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs, no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. And also, he will be honest with you about what work you need now and what can wait. So whether you need a simple cleaning and exam, a teeth whitening, a more complex dental procedure, Economawalk Dental Care is always there to make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. And dental care doesn't have to break the bank. Dr. Michael's fantastic staff can set you up with a no-interest payment plan. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so don't put it off any longer. Call and make an appointment today with my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care. You can find him at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give him a call at 262-567-7224.
No gifts, no freebies, just buckets.
Bounce pass back to Sims, wide open lane, a rack attack as he hammers it home with a two-hand jam.
It's Holiday Hoops in Minneapolis as the Bucks take on the Timberwolves. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30 on the home of the Bucks, News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it is 16 degrees here in Milwaukee today. Mostly sunny and colder with a high of 28 tonight, a low of 21. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. At NTSB, officials continue to process the scene of this week's plane crash in North Carolina that claimed the lives of several people, including NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his family. ABC's Mola Lengi has the latest.
Authorities investigate the cause, loved ones remembering those who lost their lives. Their families releasing a joint statement. Each of them meant everything to us, and their absence leaves an immeasurable void in our lives. We ask for privacy, compassion, and understanding as we grieve and begin to process this unimaginable loss.
The NTSB says the investigation could take months as officials work to determine what caused the crash. The Milwaukee County District Attorney is turning to the community to help prevent violence and crime. Kent Lovern tells WTMJ how the Violence Response Public Health and Safety Team brings community leaders together.
And the whole point of it really is to make sure that we're evaluating incidents that are happening in the neighborhoods within the last 2 weeks of meeting.
He wants to hear from Wisconsinites on what they want to see change in this state.
I'm trying to get anybody around the state, especially those people who feel like they are being squeezed and who are having challenges either putting groceries on the table or at risk of losing their health care. Those are the people I want to talk to, listen to, and I think that doesn't have geographical bounds. So that's who I'm going to be trying to get to support my candidacy.
8 other Democrats and 2 Republicans are running for next year's governor's race. Visit Milwaukee launches a campaign to give small businesses a revenue boost during a slower than usual holiday season.
When you spend $25 or more in gift cards to that business, you will get a free $25 gift card that we've already paid for right back.
The Visit Milwaukee Foundation purchased gift cards from over 30 local restaurants, breweries, and retailers. Marketing Projects Manager Monica Bullington tells WTMJ local pride goes a long way.
The Milwaukee community, when they hear a problem, we will activate, and we got on it so quickly, and I'm just really proud of the community.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
As more drivers switch to electric vehicles, AAA says winter weather brings a challenge many don't expect: reduced range in cold temperatures.
Electric vehicle drivers aren't immune to winter weather challenges. Just like gas-powered cars, EVs can lose performance when temperatures drop. AAA Public Affairs Director Nick Jarmus says cold weather significantly reduces driving range for electric vehicles.
Those cold temperatures will negatively affect their range and how many miles they can go between charging.
Jarmus says it's a reality of driving in cold climates and something EV drivers should plan for during winter travel. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
Transform your cabinet doors to present a beautiful, customized look for your kitchen. With the help of Less's Glass, the new look you want for your kitchen can be achieved, and for far less than if you completely replace your cabinet doors. With over 60 different glass styles to choose from displayed in cabinet doors in our showroom, you'll be able to visualize which style will look best in your home. And we do all the work. In most cases, even if you have all wood cabinets, you just bring in your cabinet doors, and we can mill out the wood inserts to accept the glass and replace them with your new glass inserts. Think about it. Your new glass inserts along with some new hardware, and you have a great new look for your cabinets for less. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Looking to earn your Wisconsin concealed carry license? Mission 94 Firearms Education Center has you covered. Choose from classroom-only sessions, live fire options, or women-only classes taught by female instructors, designed to build confidence and safety. Learn the right way with a team that puts education first. Find your perfect class today at mission94firearms.com. Click on the training tab or just Google Mission 94.
Craving that crispy, cheesy, thick Detroit-style pizza? Well, now you got it with Screamin' Sicilian. Screamin' Sicilian delivers the crunch, the gooey cheese pull, and that light, airy crust that you love, all baked in its own pan for those crave-worthy caramelized edges straight from your home oven. You got the cheese, the pepperoni, multi-meat, or supreme. It's like dining out, but without the hefty bill. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian, Detroit-style, thick, crispy, unapologetically Screamin'.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers lose in OT to the Chicago Bears Saturday evening, 22-16. The next matchup is against the Baltimore Ravens next Saturday at 7 p.m. The Bucs are in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. That game begins tonight at 6 p.m. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Mostly sunny and colder again with a high of 28. Tonight, increasing clouds with a chance of a little light snow and dusting possible well north with a low of 21. Monday, cloudy with a chance of a little snow and a high of 40. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high of 43. Christmas Eve day, cloudy and mild with the chance of light rain or drizzle with a high of 44. Christmas Day, cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain and drizzle with a high of 47. Right now in Madison it's 12, in Green Bay it's 7, in Waukesha 14, and in Milwaukee 16 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
I think a lot of people were saying that last night. What a horrible finish to the game. Joining us is WTMJ's Greg Matzik from Wisconsin Midday News. And Greg, to go from thinking it's going to happen to, oh my gosh, what just happened? I don't think anybody this morning is feeling good.
No, it kind of takes you back to 2014, the NFC Championship game. Like all the collection of things that happened to the Packers last night were reminiscent of what happened in the NFC Championship game in Seattle. Now, that was for a trip to the Super Bowl. This was to help lock in your opportunity to win a division title. But nevertheless, you started to see it unravel right in front of your very eyes. And, one thing the Bears have done well this entire season is they have found a way to finish games off and ultimately result in a victory. Like they have dug deep and found a way to win after they were thoroughly beaten by the Packers for about 55 minutes of that game. The Packers were in control. They had a good game plan. They lost their quarterback. They navigated that challenge. First opportunity without Micah Parsons. The Bears scored 16 points in regulation. They're going to win a lot of football games that way. From a coaching perspective, the Packers were in position. I thought it was a brilliant game plan on both sides, but you didn't play for 60 minutes, and that's what cost them.
Well, and, even when you have the second string, Willis come in, he played, I couldn't believe how well he played.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of calm to his game. So when he comes in, nothing looks rushed, nothing looks like it's sped up, like the game is slow enough for him, and he's really good at his feet. He's a very dynamic player, right? He can run. He got out some great jams with his legs. He delivered a beautiful touchdown pass to Romeo Doubs that looked like it was going to be the game winner. He did everything you could ask for. If you look at his numbers, you look at his quarterback rating and all the metrics, it points to Malik Willis having a fantastic night coming in off the bench for Jordan Love. Key play in the game, however, in overtime on a 4th and 1, he botches the snap that's supposed to go to Emmanuel Wilson on a handoff and hopefully allow that Packers drive to continue. And who knows? I mean, they still got to score a touchdown or get points on the board, but you gifted the Bears good field position, and a few plays later, and that game was over. So for as well as Malik Willis played, underscores the fact that you've got to be near perfect in games like that when it's so close. The margin for error is so thin, and that one mistake, along with countless others, really add up to a disappointing feeling.
We're talking with Greg Matzik from Wisconsin Midday News. And Greg, you have followed sports. You've followed the Packers all your life. At what point, or was there a point, where you thought, now we're in trouble? I mean, because it seemed like things were going pretty well, and then there was that onside kick. But it still seemed like, the Packers had the momentum. But when, with all of the experience that you have in watching this team and watching these games, at what point did you say, we got a problem here?
Yeah, the onside kick stands out. Like, that is such a low percentage play, and they've modified the rules here to make it even more of a long shot for teams that are executing the onside kick. And it's such a wave of momentum. You started to feel it shift there in that second half, and the Packers would come back and they'd answer and put points on the board. They'd convert on a third down. Like, they did a number of things to help that crowd in Chicago sort of stay on the tepid side, although even their tepid felt like 80 miles an hour. But you get to that point where an onside kick happens, and it's such an avalanche at that point. You really got to hang on. I thought overtime might be a settling period. All right, you reset, you go to the sidelines, another coin toss. It feels like a reset. And the Packers came out and had a decent drive going, and it literally just fumbled it away. So the onside kick is one of those plays that you can't get out of your head. Go back to the 2014 NFC Championship game. You think about all the plays that led to that loss, preventing the Packers from going to the Super Bowl, everybody brings up the onside kick. Probably not fair, especially to Brandon Bostic and in this case Romeo Doubs, but that's the play that really sticks out. You cover that, you feel pretty good about your chances to win.
When you look at how well Willis played, but Jordan Love being out, do you think had Love played the whole game, might there have been a different outcome?
Hard to say. I thought the Bears' pressure on Jordan Love was better than adequate. Jordan can move out of the pocket and he can run, but he's always looking to pass. Malik Willis adds a little bit different of a skill set. He throws a good ball, but he is more comfortable, I would say, than Jordan Love tucking it and running it. So I look at some of the jams he got out of, and I don't know if Jordan Love does the exact same thing if given the exact same situation. But, maybe Jordan doesn't fumble the snap on a 4th and 1. It's hard to say who would have done what in a situation. I just saw a backup quarterback step in and do a marvelous job. And if he has to start next week, Saturday, against Baltimore, that's certainly a possibility, a better than reasonable possibility. You feel comfortable with Malik Willis. He's done nothing but play high-quality football when called upon. So that could be a game the Packers absolutely need, along with the final week at Minnesota to secure their playoff spot. I think you got to get to 11 wins. A 10-win team is going to be left out of the playoffs. Packers don't want to be on that side of it.
Well, and that's the point. So what are you hearing or what's your gut telling you about whether or not Love will play on Saturday?
Yeah, concussions are tricky, right? Any sort of head injury like that, there are players who are, out, they're treated, and they're back in the game. There are players who come back in the game, then they have to sit out the next week because a concussion can kind of resurrect itself or the after effects of a concussion. So it's really hard to say. I guess Tuesday probably going to be a little better indication if he's able to practice. That will mean he has cleared protocol. But it's not uncommon with concussions for a player who's taken out and then out for the game to be out for the next week. So that'll be a big storyline to follow here going into Saturday, another Saturday matchup at home against Baltimore.
All right, so what do you see now for the rest of the season? It's only 2 regular games left.
Yeah, so
and,
you start to take inventory of what the other teams have in front of them, and you hate to be in that situation. You want to just control your own destiny and win and not worry about that stuff. But it's worth looking at here. So the Packers are in a position where if they win 2 games and they're going to be in, right? The Lions will stay behind them in the standings, and the Lions can't catch Green Bay, which is a good thing. But they got to win a couple of games and hope the Lions lose and further get them out of the playoffs. You don't want to see Detroit in the postseason. Furthermore, you're also looking at what the Bears have left here. So the Bears have San Francisco. That's a team that is fighting for its life in the NFC West. They want to be a division winner and lock down a home game in the playoffs. So they need to win. Seattle is right there with them. They're kind of neck and neck in the NFC West. So San Francisco has everything to play for. And then the final week, Chicago has Detroit. And that could be for Detroit's playoff lives. So I think both teams, the Bears have compelling reasons to give it all they got. On the Packers side, you've got Baltimore, and they're right there with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC, so they have plenty to play for. And then you finish with Minnesota, who gets relegated to the position of spoiler, which I'm sure they'd love nothing more to do than beat the Packers in that final week. But take care of your own business, win 2 games. I think you're in. Shot at a division title feels like it sort of slipped through your hands yesterday with that loss to Chicago. But you still have everything out in front of you. But the likelihood of hosting a game at Lambeau Field in the playoffs took a massive hit last night.
I know where your heart is. You want to see the Packers go all the way. But what do you think the odds are that they're going to go far into the postseason, if at all?
Well, so again, you look at last night's game, and the result of it is that your opportunity to have a home game, you feel like that's lost. I mean, it's mathematically possible, but it took a massive hit. I think they're down to about 18% chance to win the division. You get a home game in the playoffs, feel pretty good about that. You have to go on the road and win a few games before the Super Bowl. That's a tough hill to climb. I do think the Micah Parsons injury was the Packers' Super Bowl death blow. I don't think they can reach the Super Bowl without him. He's just too impactful of a player. But I think they will be a playoff team. And then you got to look at the matchup. But the likelihood of the Packers being on the road for that first game is increased significantly after last night.
Very interesting. I know, Greg, you're going to be talking about it more tomorrow on Wisconsin Midday News. Can't thank you enough for getting up early with us today. It was a rough night last night.
Yeah, my pleasure. I hope everybody has a good Sunday. Enjoy the sun, get out, get some fresh air. and enjoy it.
That's all we can do at this point. Greg Matzek, thanks so much. It is 9:17, 14 degrees, feeling very chilly, but we're going to get up to 28 today. Coming up next, we've got your full forecast. I'll tell you about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hi, this is Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management. As we head towards the new year, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our listeners and to our clients. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and the conversations we get to have every day. From all of us at Annex, we wish you and your family a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
Investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate strategies. Get financially organized for the new year. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Christmas is a time of generosity.
Kessler's wants to be generous, and we suspect that you want to be generous too. Let's team up.
This year, we're going to make it possible for you to be more generous than ever.
Number 1, Kessler's has a big selection of delightful diamond jewelry priced at $150 on up.
Number 2, great gifts at affordable prices such as sterling silver earrings, pendants, and bracelets to fit every look and every personality.
Number 3, with your purchase of more than $299, you'll get a bonus gift worth at least $90.
You can choose from a lucky 4-leaf clover pendant
or a 22-inch stainless steel curb chain, ion plated in yellow gold.
And please, please don't get all cleaned up and dressed up. This is Kessler's, your home away from home.
If you're wearing muddy boots and your pajama bottoms, that's totally fine.
We've all done it.
Come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's going to be a sunny Sunday, but it's going to be chilly. We will get up to about 28 degrees tonight. Those clouds are going to be coming in. There's a chance of some light snow, maybe a few flurries, dusting possibly if you go way far north. 21 overnight, which isn't bad considering some of the temperatures we've been seeing the last week. Then tomorrow, it's cloudy, a chance of a little bit of light snow, maybe a wintry mix, and a high of 40 degrees. Then even warmer on Tuesday under sunny skies, 43. Christmas Eve, looks like we've got some clouds. It's going to be mild. Chance of light rain or drizzle. No, I didn't say snow. I said rain. And a high of 44. And Christmas Day, a warm one. Cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain or drizzle and a high of 47 degrees. Looks like all the snow will probably be gone by Thursday. Right now in Oconomowoc, we have 13 degrees. Cedarburg's at 13. Brookfield's at 14. We have 14 degrees at 9:21 on WTMJ.
If you've ever caught yourself putting hemorrhoid cream on your toothbrush instead of toothpaste, you might need a better night's sleep.
People are loving Penny Mustard's line of double-sided memory foam mattresses.
If you told your boss, I love you, when ending a phone call, you might need a better night's sleep.
Made in Wisconsin and built to last 45% longer than the average memory foam mattress.
If the server says, enjoy your meal, and you respond, you too.
Insanely comfortable, exclusive, double-sided memory foam developed by the sleep geniuses at Penny Mustard.
If you hugged your dentist when he was trying to unclip your bib.
Offering zero-gravity sleep positioning.
And backed by a 1-year comfort guarantee.
If you spend 20 minutes following an unsuspecting stranger around the hardware store because you thought he was your husband, you might need a better night's sleep.
And a better night's sleep starts at Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Find a showroom near you at pennymustard.com.
Better versions of the sleep people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your way inside the huddle.
Hut 1, Hut 2.
Without putting on any pads.
hype.
It's Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Matt LaFleur has been one of the great regular season coaches in the history of the NFL, if you just look at numbers. Your legacy is built on postseason football.
Every day of the regular season at 4:15. It's Green and Gold Insiders all season long, right here on WTMJ. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to Sunday Sip on 620 WTMJ. I'm Steve Scafidi, host of Point Taken. Today, we're going to talk about common senior scams, how to avoid them. That's the big thing. A lot of things going on around town and on your text and on your email. So we're going to talk to Colin O'Connell. He's Capri Community's Manager of Resident Tech Genie Support. Before we get to that, Colin, if you don't know Capri Communities, they manage 19 senior living campuses, southern Wisconsin, and 17 affordable housing communities. Experts in this stuff, one of the many services, and I say this all the time when I talk to the folks at Capri Communities, providing so many resources for people, especially this one. This is a big one, especially this time of year. All right, let's start with the basics, Colin. What does a Capri Tech Genie actually do?
So I provide support for residents to learn and utilize technology in their everyday life.
Which everyone has to now, right? We have the advent of AI, and we all have smartphones.
Yep.
So hopefully smartphones. All right, so let's talk about what our listeners should look for as a sign of a potential phone or email scam. Big thing that happens every day across our country.
Sure. So the number one thing is a really large sense of urgency. They want you to act this immediate second. They're also going to ask you not to talk with anyone, not to call other resources. They want you to stay on the phone, email, however. And they're going to ask you to give them money at some point pretty early on.
Is there like a mission statement or a quick one that you tell people when they're asking about these things, like something they go, yeah, I'm not doing that?
Well, my big thing is if you don't know, let it go. If you don't remember a toll or anything,
Makes
don't
sense.
answer.
Yeah, if you don't know, don't go there. It's probably the best advice you could give. All right, so what are some of the big top senior scams that you're seeing out there right now, and how can people like quickly identify that it is a scam?
Sure. So the number one that we see is tech support. You have a new virus, click here or call this number to get it taken off here for a small fee. We're seeing the subscription scams. Your iCloud storage is full. Pay $50 to up it, or we'll delete everything.
I just got that one recently.
Yep, it's everywhere. And then the other one we see is the Help Me Grandpa scam, which is a family member calls saying they're in jail and they need money right now.
When you see these types of things pop up in your inbox or on your messages and texts, is there a couple common ways? I know you said let it go, but they're pretty tricky. They try to confuse people. A couple common warning signs that you can just pick out right away and say, this is not real.
Generally, the first thing is correct spelling and grammar. Oftentimes we see they're using AI or something to write these up, or English isn't their first language. You'll see a lot of important missing details, and I would say probably just something about it doesn't sit right with you. There's always a key piece missing in these kind of communications.
And when you talk to people and they ask you for your advice on this stuff, there is a pretty specific way that legitimate companies will contact you. It's not generally by text or email, right?
Correct. You usually have the same method of contact. Either go to their website and log in with your account. Again, don't click links in emails. Don't click links in text messages. Go and do it. For your credit card, they've got a phone number on the back of the card. Hang up and call that number.
We're talking to Colin O'Connell. He's Capri Community's Manager of Resident Tech Genie Supports. Talking about these scams that are plaguing a lot of people across our country every day, and especially during the holiday time of year. Always about the action plan, right? Suggestions for people who can prevent some of these things, and probably more importantly, prevent themselves from being scammed. Mm-hmm. What are they?
So you want to be alert that you're going to be the target of a scam. It's on the rise. It's everywhere. So just be aware that somebody's always out looking for your money. 2, have a safe word for your family, friends. Important. That's one we're really seeing do heavy lifting lately.
Go into a little detail on that. So when you say safe word, they pick one word that their family knows that's their word, right?
Yep. So just this word means this is me. I need immediate attention. It's okay. The other part of that is just having that plan of action for when something goes wrong. who do I call? Who do I contact? What are the important numbers? And then always be able to kind of retrace your steps. Those are the important parts.
When you have a conversation with your family members, is that something that you would then write down something, or you just have a verbal conversation about this is our plan? What do you suggest?
I definitely recommend writing it down for people. Having a password list is not the worst thing in the world, especially for
as long as it's
seniors.
maintained and secure.
Yep. And keep it updated. Have those conversations regularly. I'm going to do it again at Thanksgiving or Christmas. We're going to take the time to talk about those things.
Do we see an uptick in these sort of scams? I guess the answer is yes, of seniors being scammed at this time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the spending that goes on.
UPS scams, Amazon scams saying you've got a return package or your $1,500 iPhone didn't get sent correctly. All of those are most likely fake. You know what you order. So just a little bit of common sense, but never hurts to ask for help.
He is Colin O'Connell. He is, as I said before, the Capri Community's Manager of Resident Tech Genie Support. A very long title, but a very important job as we try not to get scammed during this holiday season. One of the great things about Capri Communities, you can find out a lot more about this and other programs. Simple website address. Contact capricommunities.com. You can even schedule a tour. This is a premier facility and facilities. You can see how their residents, and I've had many conversations on the Sunday Sip about this, they really, really enjoy their life at Capri. Don't be a subject of a scam. Colin, thanks for joining the Sunday Sip on 620 WTMJ.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's 14 degrees at 928.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 20 count selected varieties, hefty storage or freezer bags, 2 for $4. 8 to 13.1 ounce selected varieties, Old Dutch Crunch, Ripple, Potato, or Tortilla chips, 2 for $5.50. 24.5 ounce selected varieties, Welch's Sparkling Juice, $3.49. 12 to 36 count selected varieties, Rhodes Dinner or Cinnamon Rolls, $3.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
Too over the top.
Free from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Well, we're coming up to 9:30, and we've got it's looking like Christmas. Nazir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And Nazir, what's going on this hour?
Thank you, Libby. A 23-year-old Illinois man accused of killing his UW-Whitewater girlfriend is scheduled to go to trial next summer. Court records say Chad Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 21-year-old Kara Welsh, a member of the UW-Whitewater gymnastics team. Prosecutors say she was shot during an argument in an off-campus apartment in August 2024. Richards has pleaded not guilty. Jury selection begins June 8th, with trial set for June 9th, 2026. One person is dead after a fire in Waukesha County. The Western Lakes Fire District says the fire happened in Lac La Belle in a single-family home just before 5 p.m. Thursday. Firefighters say cold temperatures and high winds caused extreme challenges. Investigators have not released the cause of the fire, but they do not believe there is any foul play. The identity of the victim has not yet been released. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and colder again with a high of 28. Tonight, increasing clouds with a chance of a little slight snow or flurries overnight with a low of 21. Monday, cloudy with a chance of a little snow with a high of 40. Tuesday, mostly sunny and high of 43. Christmas Eve, cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain or drizzle with a high of 44. Christmas Day, cloudy and mild with a chance of light rain or drizzle as well with a high of 47. Right now in Madison, it's 14. In Green Bay, it's 8. In Waukesha, it's 15. And in Milwaukee, it is 17 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:32.
Hey, Nazir, have you done much holiday shopping?
I have. I got to go some more today, but yeah.
Is it your imagination or are prices a lot higher?
Oh, no, it's a sure thing. Eyes are not deceiving this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, there's a new report. We're going to tell you about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Annual enrollment is on the way. Whether you're gearing up for retirement or already there, American Republic Insurance Services is here to help you navigate your health and life insurance options with confidence. They'll walk you through every step so you can make smart, secure choices and protect your legacy. And remember, protect yourself from scams by working with a trusted local agent. Call them today at 262-523-1440. American Republic Insurance Services. Be informed, be smart, be secure.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. So I was looking at some of the bushes that have overgrown on my property, and I love our yard, but I need dormant pruning. That's what takes place during the winter when it's safe to cut back things so you have healthier trees and bushes around your house. Check right now to see if you've got stuff scraping against the siding or needs to be cut back, and schedule it now. Design Build landscaping projects are a year-round topic. Landworks Wisconsin does it the right way every time. They help people achieve their outdoor dreams by creating beautiful landscapes. I love these guys. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check them out today.
If affordable home decor is what you've been looking for, look no further, because we're happy to show you just how easily glass can turn up the wow value of your home. Take those old kitchen cabinet doors. You pull the cabinet doors off their hinges, mill out the center, and we'll replace it with glass. It could have a design, or we could use plain glass for a simple metro look. We can design any look you're going for, from traditional to prairie, bevel glass, even custom designs. And it doesn't stop there. Entry glass, transoms, bath mirrors, rec room mirrors? How about a rec room mirror with your personalized sports design sandblasted right on? That could be a pretty cool look. All it takes is a little outside of the box thinking, and we'll help you get there. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
And welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Well, if you've been doing some holiday shopping, you might be seeing the Grinch in the gift aisle. Well, at least that's what a new report from Groundwork Collaborative says, that prices are up 26%, with the tariffs especially bringing those costs up. And joining us is Bharat Ramamurthy. He is a former White House National Economic Council official, and you were with the Biden administration, correct, Bharat?
That's right.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about this particular report. Were you surprised when you saw that prices this year are up 26%?
I think it's a shocking number. We've seen that prices are up across the board, especially because of President Trump's tariff agenda, which raises the cost of goods that we import into the United States. But I think some of the price increases that we're seeing in this report are really shocking. As you said, an average of 25% increase, and for certain goods, we're talking about a 50 or 60% increase compared to last year. That's going to make it tough to do that holiday shopping.
Well, let's talk about how the imports are affecting things that we're buying. You said that some of them are much higher than 25, 26%. Specifically, which products are we seeing the biggest cost rises because of tariffs?
So that, as you would expect, toys that are manufactured abroad and then imported into the United States, those are the ones that are having tariffs imposed on them, which are then being passed through to consumers. So in the case of, for example, some things that are manufactured in China or Southeast Asia, we're looking in some cases at a 50 or 75% increase in the price. And I don't want to say it's all tariffs. There are other factors that are contributing here. But when you add a 30, 40, or 50% tariff to imported goods, as the Trump administration has done, you're going to see that kind of price increase for consumers.
What are some of the other causes of these rises in prices?
Well, I think you're still seeing some supply chain disruptions, which are raising costs across any imported good. As usual, supply and demand plays a role in prices. If you're seeing an increase in demand for certain types of toys, that's usually going to be reflected in a higher price. But the point is that in the data that we look at on a regular basis, you see almost across the board higher prices for imported goods. And remember, that's exactly how the tariff policy is supposed to work. It raises the price of imported goods, in theory, so that people want to buy American-made products. What we have seen in reality is that the chaos around the tariffs has not actually promoted an increase in American manufacturing. All it's done really is mechanically increase prices for American consumers.
We're talking with former White House National Economic Council official Bharat Ramamurthy. You were in the Biden administration. Now, you said that prices are up for other reasons. Are you blaming President Trump for everything? Or are there outside influences that are causing this increase?
Yeah, look, I think there are a number of contributing factors to prices, but tariffs are at the top of that list. I would say a majority of the cause of these types of price increases are tariffs. There are other factors that contribute to rising prices in a complicated global economy. I mentioned demand for certain product, continuing supply chain disruptions. We're seeing the cost of other inputs go up, which are unrelated to the cost of tariffs. But at the end of the day, when you make it 40% more expensive to import certain goods into the United States, consumers are going to bear the burden of that pricing.
One of the things in the report that kind of raised my eyebrows is it said that 4 in 5 Americans who decorate a Christmas tree are going to choose an artificial tree because prices are up as much as 15%. I'm assuming if you're buying a natural tree, it was grown here in the U.S. Why are people choosing the artificial ones, which for the most part are imported, over a tree that you can get from a local farm?
That's a good question. I think that in part there are some trees that are grown abroad and brought into the United States. I wonder if there's also contributing factors from the other things that go along with the tree that could raise the price overall. But it's a notable finding about consumer behavior. And I saw recently that the president was on TV talking about how he knows that his policies have raised the costs of everyday consumer items, but maybe your kid doesn't need $4 or $5. Maybe they only need 1 or 2. I think that gets to the mindset of this administration, which is that consumers should have to bear the burden for his economic agenda, even though, as I said before, it's not really bearing fruit when it comes to seeing an increase in American investment or American manufacturing.
A lot of people who are in favor of the tariffs say it takes time for savings to be seen in the United States. Do you think that if tariffs over a longer period of time are given a chance to work their way into bringing more manufacturing into the United States, that eventually consumers will see lower prices?
I doubt it for this reason. If you think about the type of people who are going to make investments in American manufacturing. Remember, the idea here is that if it's more expensive to bring goods into the United States, that will create an incentive to try to build more things here, which is a goal that I support. But you don't just snap your fingers overnight and build a washing machine manufacturing facility in the United States or a textile manufacturer in the United States. It's a multi-year investment, and you have to have certainty that these tariffs are going to remain in place in order to make sure that your investment pencils out. Well, what have we seen from the Trump administration? On a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, the tariffs are increasing, decreasing, being removed, being exempted for certain reasons, potentially being legally challenged in the court. And so without the certainty that these are going to remain in place for many years, investors aren't going to put a bunch of money into American manufacturing. And again, and you've seen that in the data, which has actually shown a big pullback in investment in American manufacturing. If you don't have that investment, then you're not going to have the payoff a year or two down the line.
Just out of curiosity, Bharat, are you buying less this holiday season than you have in the past?
Well, I have 3 kids, and yes, I think we are pulling back a little bit, and we're thinking about activities instead of toys, things that aren't going to be subject to some of the price increases because of the tariffs for that very reason. And I think we're not alone. As this report indicates, a lot of consumers are shifting their behavior because of the steady increase in prices that we've seen over the last year.
Well, I don't know. Family time is probably an improvement over getting them 3 more video games. If you think about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. and our house will benefit as well, since it'll be a little bit less cluttered.
Exactly. Bharat, if anybody would like to see this report from Groundwork Collaborative, is there a link that we can check out?
Yes, absolutely. If you just search for Groundwork Collaborative, it'll be right there on the website. It's front and center. And you can see how different costs have gone up for specific categories of toys and for specific toy brands themselves. So as you're starting to do maybe some last-minute shopping, you can get some advance notice about where the price increases are and where they may not.
Bharat Ramamurthy, formerly with the White House National Economic Council Office, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, I finished my Christmas shopping yesterday. I'm broke. It's 9:42, 14 degrees at WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What's the secret to your success?
Clean living, hard work, and no employees.
You lost me on that last one.
No employees?
Yeah.
That's the secret sizzle that makes Hasselus mattress so popular.
How are you successful without employees?
You can give our mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Nobody talking down to me or breathing down my neck?
And with no commission-crazed salespeople in the mix, our everyday mattress prices on Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more are way low.
How low?
Our Queen Beautyrest Elm Cove A is just $7.94.
Wow.
Plus free next day delivery. And through Monday, get a free box spring or $300 off an adjustable base with the purchase of any queen or king size Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress.
Since you're a mattress store, you could say Hasselus is an overnight success.
Good one.
Thanks.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
When you give to St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee, you give hope to our neighbors in need. This Christmas season and throughout the year, we support anyone who needs a meal or help stocking their pantry. Your financial gift helps eliminate hunger and stop food insecurity. Please give much needed support to our Milwaukee neighbors. Learn more at svdpmilw.org.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Well, Sandy and I were talking about Greg Marcus a little bit earlier this morning, and as you're probably aware, the Marcus Corporation is celebrating its 90th anniversary. They've been known, of course, for their fabulous hotels here in Milwaukee, the St. Kate, the Hilton, of course, the Pfister. And Greg told me about some of the famous people who have stayed at the Pfister Hotel. Have you ever sat down and said, these are all the famous people who have stayed at the Pfister?
There's so many.
Have you ever run into any of them while you've just been at the Pfister?
So Al Jarreau would say that the Pfister was one of his first paying gigs, and that he would say that the Pfister was the first brick on his yellow brick road. The person who gave him that job was my dad. And I didn't know this when I was a kid, that Al and my dad had this relationship. Fast forward 16 years, Al's doing great. He's a national success. I come into the Pfister with my dad one day. Let's just say that at 16 years old, my dad is probably the most uncool person that I know. And I'm into jazz and that kind of music even back then. And we walk into the Pfister, and I'm probably trying to stay away from my father. And coming down the stairs, I look at him saying, that's Al Jarreau walking down the stairs. And the next thing I know, he looks at my dad and he's, Steve! And my dad looks at him, Al! And they hug. I'm like, how is the coolest person that I know hugging the most uncool person that I know right now? How could this be happening? What is going on?
And what does the CEO of the Marcus Corporation do in his spare time? Well, maybe you had a hint there. Seems he likes music. And Greg told me about his life as a musician. Now, is it true that you play piano at Blue?
Yeah. I play in the St. Kate every Tuesday, and I play in Blue 2 Thursdays a month with a trio. I play with my really good friend and bass player, Jeff Hammond, at the St. Kate on Tuesdays, and then I play with a different group, a drummer and a bass player, and we play on every second and fourth Thursday. And then we'll play up in Blue on a weekend once in a while, on a Saturday night or something, and play till late with a bunch of people. We'll get a whole group together, and 5 of us will be playing. It'll be fun.
I think I want to go see them. The Marcus Corporation has built a stellar reputation in entertainment and hotels over the past 90 years. And CEO Greg Marcus tells us how it all began, and he takes a look at the future this morning at 11 o'clock on WTMJ Conversations.
Why are you wearing a neck brace?
It's from visiting with family.
What?
Whenever we sit on the sofa to chat, I have to crane my neck from side to side.
This is why we created the SB393 leather sofa at Penny Mustard.
It features a slight curve for easy conversation.
Because these family gatherings can be a real pain in the neck.
The SB393 leather sofa, American-made, with individual seat springs and unsmooshable Qualex Ultra Foam, starting at $39.80 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Server restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
No gifts, no freebies, just buckets.
Bounce pass back to Sims, wide open lane, a rack attack as he hammers it home with a two-hand jam.
It's Holiday Hoops in Minneapolis as the Bucks take on the Timberwolves.
Bobby Portis tees up a beauty and sticks another three, looking at his bench as he retreats the other way.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm Libby Collins. It's that time of year. Medicare annual enrollment period is open. But how to know which choices are best for you and what are the risks of making the wrong choice? Well, joining us is John Harold. He's a licensed health and life insurance agent with Eris. And let's start out, John. What exactly is Medicare?
Medicare is government-subsidized health insurance for seniors. When you turn 65, you are eligible for Medicare. And you start by enrolling in Part A and Part B. That's called Original Medicare.
And what happens with enrolling in Parts A and B?
Well, let's talk about what Part A and B stand for first. Part A stands for hospital visits. So if you have your Part A card, you can go to a hospital. After deductible, your hospital charge is covered. Part B, also you enroll in, but you pay for it. That covers your doctor and specialist visits.
Now, which is better, a supplement or an Advantage plan? And what's the difference between the two?
Well, once you have Part A and Part B, you can enroll in a supplement or an Advantage plan, not both. So the difference is a supplement, you pay an extra monthly premium every month. And then you don't have any copays. You can go anywhere in the country that accepts Medicare, which is a nice benefit. With an Advantage plan, you can have a plan that has a 0 monthly premium, but you will have copays, reasonable copays, but you'll have copays. You usually get a prescription drug plan when you have an Advantage plan too, plus vision, dental, and hearing. But you have to stay in the network if you're on an Advantage plan.
Can I ask you about the network? What do you mean when you say you have to stay in the network?
So we've got major insurance carriers in southeastern Wisconsin: United, Humana, Aetna, Anthem, Quartz, Security Health, Network Health. They've all got a network of carriers that they're contracted with. You just have to make sure that the provider you see is covered by whatever carrier has your Advantage plan.
All right, well, let's talk about the Medicare annual enrollment period. When is it? And why is it important for seniors to know exactly when their opportunities are to sign up for these plans?
The annual enrollment period goes from October 15th to December 7th, and it is the window when the seniors with an Advantage plan can elect to have a new plan starting January 1st of the next year. So it's their one window, if they're not happy with their plan, that they can go make a change.
And why is it important to have that time period where you only have so long to do it?
So the plans change every year. And we need time to digest what the new plans are with the details. So the government has given us time, that window, to be able to make sure we can go contact our clients and they can contact us and we can determine what's the best plan for them going into the next year.
All right, well, how does a senior know and determine what plan is best for them? Because everybody's got different needs.
So Medicare is very complex. There are dozens of Advantage plans available to seniors in our area. And it's very difficult for a Medicare member to go investigate and research what's the difference between the plans. So our office has 7 licensed agents, and we're contracted with the major insurance carriers for both supplements and Advantage plans. It's just easier to talk to a licensed agent that can help make sure you have the best plan for you.
When you talk with one of these experts, what sort of questions will they ask you to make sure that you're going to make the right choice?
As an agent, the main things we're concerned about are the prescription drug plans that people have, because those vary and how they're covered from plan to plan, and we make sure we understand which doctors they see. So we can make sure whatever plan we recommend covers their doctor and gives them the least expensive drug cost.
I know a lot of seniors complain. Their mailboxes get flooded this time of year, and they get all kinds of phone calls. And, of course, you're seeing all the commercials everywhere. What are the risks of working with somebody who's out of state and a national company versus working with a local agent like you?
So this is an incredibly important point, Libby. The seniors are getting bombarded with phone calls, and they're seeing ads, many of them which are misleading, promising benefits that nobody will ever see. So many times the goal of an out-of-state license is to take your information, sign you up to a plan that they're licensed to sell, whether it's in your best interests or not. So the local licensed agents here will take the time to go through the details to make sure you actually have the best plan for you.
All right, so where do you start? If you want to begin to find out more about Medicare and you've got questions about these plans and what are the differences, how do we get started?
You can call our office or visit. Where, again, our company is American Republic Insurance Services. We're at Highway 164 and Paul Road. Our office phone number is 262-523-1440. I'll say that again at the end. But our website is arisagency.com. That's ARIS agency.com. You can also find us on Google. And again, I'll repeat the number, 262-523-1440. We meet with people in person. We meet over the phone. We actually go to companies, and some companies invite us in to do seminars where we can tell people what happens next after they get A and B for their retirees.
How important is it, do you think, to meet face-to-face with the agent you're working with?
Ideally, you're going to have a connection with that agent for years. Somebody you know and trust. As your health changes, as the plan changes, you're going to have somebody that can help you throughout this process.
Well, as we're heading into this annual enrollment period, what other advice do you have for people before they make these very important choices?
The main thing is each senior should reach out to their agent if the agent doesn't reach out to them. That's the main thing, to say, what's going on with the plans for next year? Here's what's changed with my health. Can you help me? That's the main thing. Be proactive. Reach out to your agent.
Well, John Harold, and again, I know you've got a lot of background in this. You've been a licensed health and life insurance agent for a number of years. You are with ARIS. And once again, if anybody wants more information, if they want to talk to somebody or meet with them in person, how do they do it?
Well, they can pick up the phone and call that number I gave. They can stop by the office. The easiest way is just to reach out with a phone call for us.
And that number is
262-523-1440.
Thank you. John Harold from Eris. I'm Libby Collins. Thanks for joining us today on the Sunday Sip. It's 9:56, and it's going to be mostly sunny and colder today. But a high of 28, so that's not so bad, is it? Then tonight, increasing clouds with a chance of a little light snow, flurries overnight. Might even get a dusting if you go real far north. It's only going to drop down to about 21 degrees, and then we're going to start getting warm the next couple days. Do you remember the 40s? Well, guess what? We're going to reach it. It's going to be cloudy with a chance of a little light snow or wintry mix on tomorrow with a high of 40 degrees. Tuesday, even better. Sunshine, 43 degrees. Then we're looking at Christmas Eve. It's going to be cloudy and mild. We've got a chance of some light rain, maybe some drizzle, but 44 will be your high. And guess what for Christmas? I don't think it's going to be a white one because I think all that snow is going to be melting. It's going to be cloudy and mild. We've got a chance of light rain or drizzle and a high of 47 degrees. Those temperatures as you're waking up around Wisconsin on this Sunday morning in Port Washington, you've got 14 degrees. Franklin's at 16. Tosa's at 16. We have 15 degrees at WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be back with you Friday morning. Vince and Eric are going to be taking the day off. I'll be filling in on Wisconsin Morning News. Can't wait to talk to you. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Take care, everybody.
Diamond stud earrings are the Christmas gift that shines brighter than the tree.
If she already has a pair of natural diamond stud